This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, I've noticed something wrong with my channel. What is it, you might say? Too many likes on my videos. You guys are just, like, you're watching the content and you're enjoying it and you're hitting the thumbs up button. Where's the visceral hate I built my empire upon? Where are all the haters? Where are the people talking about what a smug, punchable, arrogant, total trash player I am? Your comments have been nice. Everything's been nice. So we've got to flip the script, all right? I can't get too comfortable with all this praise and adoration. So I knew exactly what to do. We play rogues. We play rogues. All right, all of that was tongue-in-cheek. All of that was a joke. Some of you get it. If you have personality, you get it. If you don't, I'm sorry. Google get a personality. I'm sure that there's a nice one on Amazon for you. I don't know. But anyway, I actually think it's legitimately a good time to play rogues in best of one. I don't know about the meta in best of three, where rogue seems to have been pushed out for the most part. But in best of one, the hate is at an all-time low. I know I personally, when building decks and trying to brew, I don't run as many escape cards as I used to. Every deck used to have escape cards to make sure I had something against rogues. Nowadays, I come up against rogues, I just, like, scoop. I don't even want to play against them because I know my deck has a bad matchup, because I'm trying to keep up with the powerful decks in the format that run Goldspan Dragon, Winota Joiner of Forces, and Emergent Ultimatum, and Embercleave. So I'm not thinking about rogues when I build my decks, and that means rogues can absolutely feast upon the unprepared mid-range and slower control decks. The bane of rogues in the best of one meta has always been aggro. The aggro decks get a few creatures on the board, especially mono white, and they just run you over. You can't kill them. They have Selfless Savior. It's so annoying. They cast stuff out of their graveyard with Luris. They have the Selfless Savior. No, I said Selfless Savior. They have the Seasoned Hollowblade. They have the Alseid of Life's Bounty. Those decks just kind of dunk on rogues. I know I dunk on rogues when I play mono white and I grind Mythic, but there is an answer, and not enough people play it. They copy the rogues deck lists from best of three and play them in best of one. And the answer is Crippling Fear. Crippling Fear just completely trounces the aggro decks, the Winota decks. Against Winota specifically, you just need to kill everything except Winota, and then Winota is a 4-mana 4/4. Then you kill that with your Heartless Act, you're drowning the lock, or you just sit there and stare at it with your Thieves Guild Enforcer and say, come get me. Come get me, Joiner of Forces. You can't do anything without your forces to join. So yeah, Crippling Fear even hits Blade Historian in those decks, and it is a beating. So we're going to run 4 of it today to be ready for the meta. What did we cut for it? Let's talk about some of the mistakes I see from rogue players in best of one. Number 1, too many tapped lands. If you bring in a list from best of 3, you're going to see a lot of tapped lands to support pretty crazy mana bases, but I think it's too much for best of one. If you play tapped Temple of Deceit into tapped Sultai Triome into Fable Passage, and you're playing all tapped lands, you'll have great mana later, but you're going to get run over by the aggro decks. So I've just got the 4 Temple of Deceit, the 4 Pathways, and the 4 Passage, and the mana is pretty good. You're not that far. You're not that bad in a 2-color deck with 7 of each monocolor source, counting the Agadeem's Awakenings here. So that, I think I've got the mana right. Second, Of One Mind. Of One Mind is a great card in best of 3 where there's mid-range and control everywhere, and you need to grind. You need to draw as many cards and keep up with Expressive Iteration and keep up with Maze Mind Tome and keep up with Emergent Ultimatum. In best of one, first of all, everybody's going to run cheap removal spells if they run removal spells, so they're going to kill your things and make it harder to cast. Thing number 2, you can't spend time drawing cards. If you pay 3 mana against an aggro deck to cast Of One Mind, you lose the game. Like, your head should just explode right there. So I cut Of One Mind from the deck completely. We're going to rely on Into the Story, Crippling Fear, and Cling to Dust for the card advantage, and I think it's going to work out a lot better. There also usually aren't any life gain sources other than the Luris itself for rogues, and Cling does provide that, so you don't get kind of cheesed out by inches with 1 little damage here and 1 little damage there. So I think this is the right deck for best of one. You're going to hate it, or you might like it. I don't know. Dislike this video. Go for it. I dare you. I double dare you. If you don't like rogues, just dislike the video. Makes you feel so good inside. Do it. Take your weapon. Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. No blue. Covert, no blue. This is a lot better, though. We keep these. Yorian. Well, this is the matchup where we don't want to draw the Crippling Fears. As long as we don't top deck Crippling Fear, our deck is good against them. We've got a lot of counterspells, Mystical Dispute, Drown in the Loch. We've got a good clock with Soaring Thought Thief, which we could have slammed right there, but I like waiting. Omen of the Sea. Let's see if they keep 2 on top. If they do, it might be worth playing the Thought Thief here. 2 to the bottom, okay. Cultivate. No cultivate. Soaring Thought Thief. Which counter would you like to use? Jwari Disruption. I hope you miss a land drop later. Now let's get aggro. They might Binding, but if they have a really, really, really good draw, they might Binding here. We need a land. Hurts to bottom into the story, but we need a land. I would have loved to swap this Crippling Fear with that into the story that we just bottomed. Oh well. It is what it is. We draw the land. We hit a verdict. We need 3 turns. Two more turns after this one. So no Shadow's Verdict. No play from the opponent. Let's go for the story. If they counter it, that's fine. Okay, Eureka Moment, not quite an into the story, but let's see. Maybe they can fetch here, do something. All right, they have Mystical Dispute. Okay, well, I know that you feel like you have to stop into the story. I don't blame them for countering it, but what they have to do is get rid of our board. And now they have to do it through a counterspell without a Mystical Dispute. I don't know if you can really let that resolve, but it's not going to work out for them very well if they can't force through a Shadow's Verdict here with another Mystical Dispute, which is asking a lot of your 80 card deck, but, you know, every time we say that, they have it, so. They have triple blue, by the way. They don't have enough green. They go for Elder Gargaroth, which we can destroy, but let's wait till we draw the Mystical Dispute so we can win a counter war. I think most people would snap off the Drown in the Loch right there or on end step, but here, where we know our top card, and we know the opponent also plays counter spells, this is the right play. Okay. Digging for a Mystical Dispute. We could have just countered that, but what if they already had the Mystical Dispute in their hand? Could have been a trap. And that's game. I know, another Rogues game, how original. But I thought it was kind of interesting. Wait, what? Wait, I just went from 992 to 1012. What? You guys are seeing this, right? I can't make that up. Yeah, that wasn't a glitch. I went from rank 992 to rank 1012 with a win. Not a glitch. Wizards loves Sky Noodle decks, confirmed. They're defending them from me. Evil CGB, who found a way to pick on them. Go ahead, keep on top. Go ahead. Go ahead, put it on top. Do it. Flash that in. Get those mills. We gotta get there with our Into the Story, so let's get to work. And the Jwari Disruptions are out in force this afternoon. Let's see if the opponent has the removal spell for turn 2. On the draw. The hardest place to be in best of 1. Turn 2 on the draw. Valky miss. Valky sad. What am I supposed to do here? Probably just buy Luris. We're getting those sweet, sweet mills, of course. Into the Story. We'll be getting into the story in no time. They lost the Triome that could cast the Tybalt side anyway. Of course, usually they get it from Emergent Ultimatum. We don't have a counterspell yet. Well, they kept on top. Let's see if they actually get the card. Let's hold this for a crab. Let's play another black. So you're gonna get this card somehow? Heartless Act. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe they didn't need that forest, and that's why they let it chill on top. So I think we just cast the End of the Story. They run Jwari. They might have other counterspells. They might have a Mystical Dispute. I think we just do it. We'll probably find a Crippling Fear to discard. Or we'll find a few lands. We might find a land to discard. That was not the finest Into the Story of my career. Alright. 6 counters in the deck, and we need to locate one pretty quickly. Our clock is not great, so we're probably trying to grind out our opponent since we played our draw 4. And that means we have to be able to counter their ultimatums. We probably can't get under them. Yeah, send a message, Valky. Let's go. Another land. That's an incredible amount of mana. What are we going to do with it all? We can play the Luris, but we can't defend it. But maybe we need to just bring back another creature, but if our opponent casts Shadow's Verdict, we just kind of lose on the spot. I guess we're Team Windrobber. Opponent has something that's sticking, which could be Erebos' Intervention, which is a pretty popular one right now. Gets around Indestructible. It's all the rage with the kids. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I believe... Okay, if I go back and look at the tape, I believe I'm looking at a 7 out of 8 cards being land, with the 1 being a Merfolk Windrobber. Here comes Yorion. Here comes Maze Mind Tome. You want to rumble? If I'm the opponent, I might take that trade, but I don't know. Nothing of particular interest down here. Let's just exile this, get a new card. 8 out of 9 land. And there's a card. All right. Am I playing frickin' Luris this turn? I can kind of defend it. And I guess we need the card advantage engine, don't we? Let's see what we hit. Okay, Curious the Sea God takes a little bit of sting out of them. I don't want the I don't want the Soaring Thought Thief back. I'm going to get the Wind Robber back. Because I need the cards. I need them bad. I'm in so much trouble here. We've drawn so many lands. Eliminate. I think I just have to let it go. Unfortunate, but I think I have to let it go. Because I think they have an Erebos' Intervention. I guess Valky is the stick, right? Valky's the stick. Here's the thing. If they resolve an ultimatum on me, I'm going to lose. If they resolve a Shadow's Verdict here, I'm going to lose. So, a 2-mana removal spell like Eliminate, we've got to let it go. Alright, got to counter that. I mean, really, if the opponent has any relevant spells, we're in trouble. So we may as well play this, because otherwise, like, the 2-mana open isn't going to do us much good. We could try to draw something with the Robber, but I don't think it's actually going to work out. And right now, we can keep up the appearance that our hand is full of gas. Like, oh yeah, there's really something here I didn't want you to see. What is going on? What is happening? No! This is supposed to be my farmable matchup. Are they even an ultimatum deck? They have Cultivate, and they have Curabest the Sea God. I guess they don't have to be, though. I think they... Okay, that scry tells me they think the coast is clear. They think they've got this. If we exile our graveyard, which would mean giving up on Luris, which is hard to do, but I guess we could sack these first. So we can sack these, exile a little graveyard, dig a little bit. Elspeth's Nightmare. If I let that resolve... Oh no. Alright, we just have to find something off the top. But yeah, I'm not going to counter this, am I? It means we're going to exile our graveyard anyway. What is going on? What the hell is going on? This is so absurd. 14 land, 6 spells. 14 land, 6 spells. Because remember, Luris is in the companion zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One of them was a draw for. 2 of them have drawn extra cards. 14 land, 6 spells. Ooh, that's a mistake. That's a mistake, I think. I think they missed that. Hello. So you're telling me there's a chance. Why didn't you attack? I think our opponent's freaking out here. All right. 2 cards. We're going to cast the Into the Story because this is about to steal it. It couldn't last forever, could it? Heh! Got him. They might have one in hand, of course, but there's a good chance an ultimatum is about to occur. Another Into the Story and a Drown in the Lock. They're gonna take the Drown in the Lock. Let's end. There's gonna be people watching this being like, you should have thinned with Passage. Look, I'm a crab deck, okay? You don't just thin with Passage. Yep, take the Drown, resolve the ultimatum. Or take Into the Story for the draw for. Okay, they're gonna let me have a Drown. Wow. Wow. And they're going for the Yorion, which I have to counter. So they must have a way to counter the counter, right? Because if I don't, they flicker Nightmare. If they flicker Nightmare, I'm going to lose to it. Because they'll just end up taking the Drown anyway. Well, now you don't attack, right? Because of Thieves Guild Enforcer. Maybe that's why they didn't attack last time. Okay. They run Disdainful Stroke, but if they had one of those, they would never have taken the Into the Story. Let's start getting these on the field because we might need to recharge. Well, Cling to Dust is getting exiled. That's a silly thought, but where are we at? 44 cards, 10 life. Long way to go. Do we trade here? I don't think so. I think we use the Robbers as a mill, kind of a mill engine. Restoration. Hold on to your butts. All right, they target the graveyard. Let's use it a little bit here. It's all going downhill anyway. Not a counterspell. It's another land. Man, my deck is being a heartbreaker. Crippling Fear. You're going to name God. All right. We're going to let that go. Let's draw some cards. There's a card. That card attacks and blocks. That's a bad card. But whatever. Will they attack me? They do have 4 life from this tome. They're doing just fine over there. They play the Haven. No attacks. Let's redeploy some troops. There goes another ultimatum. Play Wind Robber. Let's name Rogue. You're going to negate that. That's fine with me. I guess they're trying to avoid the Thieves Guild Enforcer. There's not that many cards to go. Land, I think there's still a few. It's 2 swamp, 1 island. Alright guys, that's an annoying one, but I think we let that be. It's not an ultimatum, so it's not worth trying to dig for with the Wind Robber. I mean, can we beat a resolved ultimatum? We've taken out a lot of their good cards. Their Valky's on the table. Their Kiora Best the Sea God is exiled. I guess we'll see. Valky wants to rumble. I think we let that hit. Top half of our deck did not produce a crab. Very frustrating. Birds want to... Interesting. So what are they doing there that they don't need to block with? They're going to sweep this board. They're going to play another Crippling Fear. Probably naming God. Let's draw. A Cling. Let's do it again. There's our crab. Birds down. What are your other 2 cards? Crab. Another land. Look, we found another land, guys. All right. Now we attack your deck. Okay. It's not a land, so I guess I should keep it. Hold, because if they have an eliminate, you want to use these in response. Binding. Target crab. Maybe I should have drawn the Thieves Guild Enforcer in response. I don't know. I don't know about that play. Right, not many lands left. There goes the Vorinclex. Is that all the ultimatums? The Fae of Wishes gone too. Interesting. They think they know something. They've decided they have to attack me to death with Valky. It's all they've got. We still have Awakening in the deck. Come on, Kling. Come on, Kling. Drag me through this. Kicking and screaming, buddy. Hello. All right, 6 cards left. Let's not exile them. We need to awaken 2 of them. Drown? Maybe we hold these lands because of Crab. Larissa's gone. Long gone. So we want you. Do we want Thieves Guild Enforcer or Crab? Crab is 3. Thieves Guild Enforcer is 1, 2, 3, 4. Or do we want Wind Robber? Wind Robber is another card. They're at 11 life. I need the cards, don't I? $17. Okay, we do it like this. We're gonna deck them. We might not get in there, but we're gonna deck them. Their Shark Typhoon is gone. I could draw into a Mystical Dispute. All right, I'm playing the land. I don't trust it. I don't trust not playing land there. It's weird after all these land drops that we've hit. Let's see if they actually fetch a forest or leave it in the deck. They do fetch it. Case like that, you might want to leave it in the library to get milled. Shadow's Verdict. Let's fight that. Binding again. Okay. Thought Thief down. 11 cards to go. Crabs. Gonna draw 2 crabs. I predict it. This makes rogues, any rogue that we draw is a mill source, so we need to hang on to it. Opponent with a good attack, though, I think. We don't have any more Agadeems. How could you be so heartless? Attack with Enforcer. Crab you. Another Epiphany gone. 8 cards to go. Now this grants Death Touch, so we're not blocking with Crab this turn. Could be bad. But I want to hold this in case they still have a Gargaroth or a big shark. Ooh. Ooh. All right. Maybe I can't afford to hold it now, but that puts them down to 4 cards left in their deck if they plus it.
I'll make my own.
Interesting. And we're at 6 life, so 3 spells is lethal. Although Kling may have something to say about that before it's all done. Goodbye, Thieves Guild Enforcer. No attack from the Valky. Ooh, interesting. I've never been so happy to draw another land. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. How many lands are left in the deck? I've got to know. 4 are left in the deck. Half of them are Fabled Frickin' Passage too. All right. This is close. This is interesting. You have my attention. If you plus that, you probably just die. All right, so we'll go for the Heartless Act because we don't want to die to 2 spells from Professor Onyx Magecraft. Okay, I will pay. Mastery on the Crab. Down to 2. It's also exiled, so it's not in the graveyard for the Kling. Top deck War. What's left in your deck? And you can't make the 2/2 right now. Land. Do we play it to scry? Because if we draw a crab next turn, the land is lethal. But if we whiff next turn, we're dead. We have to play it. Come on! Deck, what are you doing? How is that possible? How is that possible? That is the worst flood I have ever seen anywhere in my life. Ever. I get that you probably hate rogues. And you might say karma if you hate rogues enough. I often do. But I have now deranked from wins. And then I had the worst mana screw in history. The game is clearly out to destroy me. Like 100% out to destroy me. This is now a man against machine thing. Nothing about this is fine. This is about rising above absolute targeted removal on the part of the client and Wizards of the Coast and the universe itself. Sure. Keep. I'm tempted to scry it to the bottom just based on the last game. Let's get some cards in the graveyard. These Is It Snow Piles are super popular. I don't know if some streamer played them or something. But now just like the best of one pile of removal Goldspan Dragon deck is all over the ladder. This is like the 4th time I played it today. I wasn't playing rogues the other times though. Like I was trying to play a Boros deck. For those of you who thought you might get different content today, I was trying to play a Boros deck. This deck just like exiled it from the game, exiled it from the arena forever. Just got absolutely ruined. So, if they kill one of these, we play Lurrus, we get it back. Easy. Okay, so they have Saw It coming. And they have 6 cards. Alright. Again, we're a crab deck. Let's hold on to the passage. Let's get another black, because we might play Lurrus Thought Thief, depending what happens. And attack. They can't hold up 2 mana forever, can they? They really don't want to take this hit, though. If they have a Bone Crusher, they should play it. Okay? Because this turning on into the story is a big game. And Bone Crusher wouldn't. Now we sit. Now we try to mess up like their Goldspan Dragon turn or something when they would want to play a Saw It Coming. Expressive Iteration with 1 mana open. It could be Mystical Dispute. But let's try. 3 lands and a Crippling Fear. I'm starting to suspect the client is out to get me again. 4 straight lands. 4 straight lands. How am I going to overcome this evil? Hello? I'm trying to attack you. Opponent having a little think here. Little thinky think. Let's go to discard. I think we hang on to Fear this time, though. Fear is good against the Giant. It's not good against Brazen Borrower. I mean, I guess it can be. We just have to remember it's a rogue. Expressive Iteration again for the 2nd straight turn. This time they have Saw It Coming mana open, so we don't snap off into the story. Opponent sculpting the perfect hand every step of the way. Let's see what they come up with. They have a Fabled Passage. Yes, thin your deck for me, for the rogue player. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, let's go for Soaring Thought Thief. See if they do anything about it. Resolves. Okay. Okay. Mystical Dispute in the main deck. This is a battle against. This is a battle of will right here. But we'll wait. You have to do something sometime. Brazen Borrower. Let's draw. There's a Drown in the lock. But that's... Now is not the time. Alright. What the heck should I discard? I'm gonna discard these lands. How about that? But at the bottom of that pile of mana, there lurked our key cards. Opponent says go, and they have Faceless Haven now. There's a Mystical Dispute, the first time we've drawn one against a blue deck. Let's go. Let's battle. I will trade. I will have tradesies. Opponent at some point has to play very expensive cards, and those cards can be countered. Where are we at? 29, 10 life. If they power up this, that's expensive. If we go for the Lurrus, they'll kill it for certain. We want to go for it when they exert themselves to some extent. They can't wait forever. Another Brazen Borrower is fine. Do you attack me? Okay, they're going to try to be aggressive about things. If we cast into the story, they'll try to counter it. How many counters can we fight through? We can fight through 2. That's a lot. If we're completely out of counters, we can go for Lurrus and hope that works out. But maybe we want to start the fight over Lurrus and then have Into the Story be the Haymaker, not the Lurrus, because the Lurrus is more vulnerable. That makes sense to me. Oh look, land. Crab! Where are we at? 28 cards. Pretty good. I'm gonna keep being aggressive. Our threats are cheaper. We can chill. If they're gonna waste all their mana and not play anything, I think that favors us. They're waiting for us to make a mistake. I think we can outweight them. We can take 3 from the borrower a few times without it being the end of the world. All right, they're cracking passage now. Let's kind of weird. So they might have more land in hand. Okay, they are powering up the Haven, which is an expensive play. So let's go after the Haven. Interesting. Add a snow mana in combat that you're probably not going to use. And they let it die. So I can beat one saw it coming, not two. Let's continue. We are getting lower and lower on counter spells. They're trying really hard to ignore this Wind Robber, but it is doing work. They're down to 24 cards. Let's see if they can handle a crab. I don't know if countering it is the play. Three more cards down, two of them Frostbites. One all runs Epiphany in the graveyard, two all runs Epiphanies in the graveyard. They might not have an Epiphany. They probably have a dragon. It's scary to cling to this Mystical Dispute, but killing the Faceless Haven makes me feel a lot better, to be honest. Okay. At least they're trying to pressure my life total, which is probably something they should have been doing throughout. All right, here comes a giant. So Crippling Fear is going to be our play next turn. We really want it to resolve, so let's go for Into the Story here, which they're going to fight a counter war over. No, they're not. Well, that's really good for us. That probably means we've got this, though try not to get too confident. Essence Scatter with 2 mana open. So Mystical Dispute is good, but we can get this back. I don't think it's worth the fight. Let's Cling, get another card. 2 Disputes. That's really good. $17 cards. I don't want to die. We're probably going to play the Lurrus and try to get back what? If we play Lurrus, we can get an Enforcer for 5, and then we still have a lot of mana open. All right. If they go for Saw Coming, they tap out here. They do. Easy 1 mana answer. This still leaves up Drown and Dispute. Although they run, so they run Dispute as well. Maybe that's not the safe play. It gets 2 cards and 2 more damage. And it gets a flying blocker. So close. All right. Well, if I end up losing a Dispute War because I played this, we'll know why I lost the game. We could also sack the Wind Robber and recast it if cards were the most important thing, but both life and the size of their library are under pressure here. Let's also crack the passages now to make sure we get our Rune Crab triggers. While they're tapped out. A good game. Let's see if they've got it. 8 cards to go. We hit another dragon, another Galazeth. Iteration, sure. A few less cards we have to go through. if you're still here, thank you. I do think that Rogues is favored against this deck. A few things I alluded to during the video. Our cards are super cheap, and they have to deal with them. Their cards are pretty expensive. All Runs Epiphany, Goldspan Dragon, Galazeth Prismari, even powering up Faceless Haven, compared to our cards, are very expensive, and they have to go for them eventually, or their deck is a little underpowered. We can take this block. We can just get it back with Lurrus as long as we defend Lurrus. They play Haven instead of the Mountain, which is pretty awkward. Let's just hold mana up, not cling. And let's go for an Enforcer. Let's just attack the library. Now that we drew another Soaring Thought Thief, we can probably deck them out here. And that's the scoop. Yep. So, if Prismari Dragons is getting you down, 1, you can play Rogues. 2, remember to be patient. We overcame the Shuffler. We got the W. We got back up to rank 991, which may or may not be real. Let's see if we D-rank after this game. Oh, man. What are we doing with this hand? It's got a little bit of everything, doesn't it? I think the Fear makes it a keep. I think the Fabled Passage makes it awkward, but we're on the draw, so we might draw something else. Yeah, if we drew an island or a swamp, this hand would be amazing, so let's see if we can do it. I would love it on the first draw step, so I knew what to do. Okay. No such luck. I don't think I want the turn 1 Thieves Guild Enforcer. The max upside play is turn 1 Enforcer, turn 2 Thief, but I don't think we go for that here. I think we get our lands untapped and have Thought Thief available starting next turn. Looks like our opponent's going to be an aggressive little red-green pile. We need double black for a few things here. Let's grab this right away. There's our other black source. Let's get blue. Magda. Magda's a scary card. And it's definitely attacking. Alright, max upside play is the Thought Thief. We could also go for the Enforcer trade, but the Enforcer dies to the Bone Crusher Giant. This might be able to block Magda and live. Okay. Well, they're trying to send a message, but I'm still killing the Magda. Or am I? If we let them have a huge mana advantage, we still have Crippling Fear. The problem is they'll just gold span us. We still have to do this. Like, that was a clear message, I think. I think that was a clear message to leave Magda alone. All right, double black plays both of these and holds this up. Let's go like this. We can counter a Goldspan Dragon this way, which has to be one of our #1 fears. I think we take this hit. Don't try to trade. We need to counter the Embercleave or the Dragon. They do nothing. All right. Well, let's start with... Okay, these are both creatures. This is a passage. I can draw a card. Okay, mana's good. The mana is good. Let's play the Enforcer. We're not looking at a board we really need to Crippling Fear. I imagine the opponent will Bone Crush this. And then they'll play it next turn. So should I buy Lurrus? Man, if they play a dragon, we're just so wrecked. So I guess not. They'll play a dragon, though, after the fear anyway. So we really need them to kind of goofball and play it now. Unless we can find other plays to play around it. Yes! Might mean they have another. Can't get too cocky. Alright. So I want them to walk into the Crippling Fear. So we're gonna play this. I'm gonna go get black. I'm gonna Agadeems for 2 and rebuild a nice little board of rogues. You still want to rumble. They want this trade. They might have the Embercleave. If they do, it's most of their mana. Let's let them have it, and we'll Crippling Fear them. All right. They don't. The Chariot, do they also play the Giant? Are they moving in while I'm tapped out? They don't know about the fear. They don't know how afraid they should be. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. They can power up the Chariot. If they power up the Chariot, they can block, but this has Death Touch, so I don't think they want to block anyway. And we have the hidden Thieves Guild Enforcer, although it's not that hidden because Priority is holding, but they've seen Cling to Dust, so they might think it's that. In case they draw a way to power up the Chariot, we can ambush it with the Enforcer. Okay, nothing. Do we hold this back? No. No, we do not. They got something. They should play it now. So what do they have that they would hold Priority with, but not play there? I can't imagine. So it's probably still a Bone Crusher Giant, or it's full control bluff. Dragonkin Berserker is a funky one. You don't see that everywhere. Come here. Come here, kitty. You should be here when they die. Lovey-dovey. Let's see if they power up the Chariot. So, we can let the Chariot hit us. And then we can Crippling Fear. Or we can just kill the Chariot. Crippling Fear removes the 1/1 and they die, right? What a good sport. I would be flipping tables. Spikefield Hazard. Rank unchanged. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up. And if you made it this far, congratulations. You watched a video full of me playing Rogues. And let's check the stats powered by Untapped.gg. If you only watched the video and didn't stay till the end, you might have a different impression of how we did today. Well, the deck actually is 9-2 for an 82% win rate. The deck has certainly won much more than it lost, but in the spirit of Rogues and the fact that everybody, mostly everybody, hates them, and they're such a selfish, self-absorbed tribe, I thought that showing some of the absurd losses would make for a better video. Remember to download Untapped.gg. You can also check out the stats for yourself with the link in the description, either to Untapped.gg, my profile, or the decklist link takes you directly to the page I just showed you, where you can read more about the statistics and such. Crippling Fear in best of one. The Winota decks, the white decks, the red decks. This is the card that gives you a chance. You don't need 4. I think that if you run 2 or 3, you're doing something right, and you don't necessarily need all 4 of them. I like Mystical Dispute in best of one right now. There's just enough matchups where it matters, and the Cling to Dust is a good way to hit the people who specifically hate on Rogues and run a lot of Croxas, Arclight Phoenix. It's good against Mono Red particularly. I said Arclight Phoenix, I meant Phoenix of Ash. Don't mess with the 16 creatures. They're essential. You should probably have 2 Heartless Axe or 2 some kind of removal spells to go with your Drown in the Lock so you don't get run over. I don't think you need Of One Mind. I think that the card draw in the format, I think Cling is more crucial, but I don't think you need as much card draw in this format. And keep the mana base the way it is. Although, may you draw a few less lands than I drew. It was kind of absurd. I hope that you enjoyed that part. I hope that you enjoyed this video. In general, watching the content is 100% supporting the content. So if you made it all the way to the end, you know what I'm going to say in just a minute. But I'll also say, disliking the content actually supports the content as well. Whether you like or dislike a video actually literally doesn't matter as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned. Most of what you can do with a dislike is psychological damage to the creator. I am immune. I have Circle of Protection you. You cannot hurt me. I love you no matter what you say about me. All right. And that's just going to be the way it is. So thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.